Hey, everybody, welcome to episode number 291 of the Nation of Conversation. I am your intrepid host, Ryan. Too sweet me, Bill Cashin, and Wally Foley. What's up?
Too sour.
Forgot about Too
Forever the
Sour.
revival.
Forgot about Too Sour from the revival. It's been a week. Let's talk about wrestling.
Nice.
And not anything else.
Nothing else has happened.
Nothing else has happened.
Oh.
Nothing bad. Nothing horrible. Let's talk about wrestling. We're gonna have a full Wrestle Kingdom breakdown, the whole 2 nights, and I was so exhausted.
I watched about half.
Couldn't even do New Year's Dash. Normally a show I try to get to, but
It looked like there wasn't a ton. It looked like it's tag matches.
Yep. I kept putting it off, New Year's Dash, and then finally I just decided I'm punting New Year's Dash. I've already watched 20 hours of wrestling this week. That's too much.
Yeah.
It's far too much. So the review show is all full dedication to Wrestle Kingdom. So if you're looking for that, that's where that will be. Let's start with the top story of today. Very rarely do we have a story that leads into the show, like right before the show, but COVID has run rampant through all of wrestling again. Shocking.
Being the key there.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
You're totally shocked. Your guy, Drew McIntyre, I guess Mike's guy, Drew McIntyre has it, unfortunately. And there's several others that are unnamed, so we don't know who they are. But WWE, for the first time since this pandemic's been around for almost 10 months. Is it 10 months now?
Yeah, we're closing in.
They have never once said the word COVID, never once said any of that shit. They just say a troubling time or whatever, like trying not to talk about it. They finally had to admit that Drew McIntyre is COVID-19. They put that out. So hopefully he is okay and gets a speedy recovery as champion who's supposed to do a bunch of shit, considering Royal Rumble is coming up. So not great. Apparently everybody is involved, though. It's not just WWE. So many others. And
AEW and Impact as well have
AEW,
stuff, right?
Impact. Yep, many others. I mean, it's if people are going to fly, it's going to become a problem eventually. So unfortunate news. So hopefully everybody's all right and we can get them back and keep going. We'll see. The NBA is like a hot mess right now. So many dudes are down. Like the Sixers had to play with, I don't know if they actually played or not. They had 7 guys that could suit up. That was it.
Yeah, we used to play like that back in the
Yeah,
day.
you know, come on.
There's a difference, though. We only had 7 guys to begin with.
Yeah, they had 15. Knocked out. Yikes. So that's not such fun news. So hopefully everybody has a speedy recovery and everyone's all right. But also, this is as bad of a thing, but it's bad. People are mad about it. Goldberg's back.
And people are mad just because he's not good, or what are people angry about?
They're afraid that he's going to come in and beat top stars like he always does, which I'm sure he will.
That's absolutely what he's going to do. He's Goldberg.
That's what he's there for.
Maybe you can come down to NXT and crush, Karrion Kross and Finn Balor.
Squash him. Squash Kyle O'Reilly.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a squasher. He's out there squashing people. What would be the best version of Goldberg? Because there's so much. Yeah, new washing machine.
He's back. Off. New washing machine.
Yeah, you want to hear a story? You want me to go into a personal story? My dog Elvis is old. Mm-hmm. He's a very old dog. He's gonna be, was he 14, 13? I forget. He's old. Man. Been around a long time. New thing is trouble with the back end. Poops sometimes in the living room. Can't get to the door, old man shit. Not that big of a deal. Annoying, but not that big of a deal. He's old. Can't make it to the door. Took a shit in my bed this morning.
Oh.
Dropped a turd right in the middle of the bed. And then this is the ultimate like, fuck you. He takes a dump in the middle of the bed. And I'm like, what was that? It was early this morning. I don't know it right away. He then snuggles up next to me. Like, I have now done what I need to do. I will snuggle next to you. Like, whoa! He just took a shit right next to me. Oh yeah, I had to wash all my bed stuff.
That's
Oh,
disgusting.
man.
Decided to take a
Yeah.
big old dump right in my bed. Thanks a lot. Anyway, Goldberg. Speaking of big dog dumps, Goldberg.
Yeah.
For Goldberg, what would be the best? There's got to be a good way to use Goldberg, right? There could be a good way to use. If Goldberg came in and he was like, I'm cleaning house here, and some babyface was getting beat up, and like King Corbin was around, and he came in and squashed King Corbin. Would anyone have a problem with that if they used
King
him that
Corbin
way?
would.
Yeah, who cares about him? Like some awful like heel.
He's not awful. Corbin
Okay,
is a perfectly fine
a heel.
performer.
Pick a heel no one likes. Pick a heel with Pat McAfee. Let's say Pat McAfee is saying some shit, and he gets speared by Goldberg. That would be I feel like that would be a very effective way to use Goldberg. He doesn't have to have a match.
Undoubtedly, the highest I've ever been on Goldberg.
Yeah, right. That's why. Like, why are they not using him in that way? Like, he's clearly athletic enough to come in and spear a dude, but not much else. So just do that. Have him come and spear whoever. Who's the bad guy of the week? I don't know.
He's gonna save the ratings.
Have him come and spear every single member of Retribution. Nobody would be upset about that.
That's true.
Right? Isn't that a good way to use Goldberg? I also thought for a minute, is Gilbert better than Goldberg in people's eyes?
They need to have that match still.
They never had it. And fortunately, Gilbert, I think he's recovered from a heart attack. But he had a heart attack. But I think he's okay. But Gilbert, at this point, is he better than Goldberg? Is he more liked than Goldberg? I don't think that's true, but it made me laugh. Thinking about Gilbert.
How much money are they offering to Brock Lesnar right now?
Oh, all the money.
To come back to Raw and boost them ratings.
Apparently, Goldberg did boost the ratings a couple weeks ago when he was on Raw, or whenever he was. A week ago.
Really?
Yeah, I guess they were up. Ratings were up. There was also no Monday Night Football, I think, that night. Can't remember.
That helps. Oh,
which always helps.
The championship game is tonight. That's right.
Yeah, your boys, Alabama, playing tonight against Ohio. It's always the same teams. Like, why? There's obviously an issue in college football. It's always the same four teams. It's always Clemson, Ohio State, Alabama, and then Notre Dame, who don't belong ever in the playoff. Anyway, Goldberg, he's back. WWE's authority guy, former Ring of Honor champion, I believe, Adamn Pearce, is now going to have a match at Royal Rumble against Roman.
So that was my question. He is a wrestler. Adamn Pearce,
former wrestler, now Office.
Okay.
That they're using as like an on-screen, not technically a general manager, but just a dude to like clean up the messes. Like, yeah, you two are fighting. You should have a match. Like, just the guy to like serve that purpose. I don't know if he's actually like legitimately a general manager or not, but just like an office stooge, and he's gonna have a match with Roman. Roman requested that he have a match, or he won a gauntlet. I'm not really sure what the hell happened, but he's supposed to have a match with Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble for the title.
For the title,
I think it's for Roman's title.
Oh boy,
Jesus Christ!
I don't know.
When is Royal Rumble? Because I'm gonna want to watch the actual Rumble, but
it's January 24th, maybe. No, 31st. Either 24th or 31st. One of those.
Who cares?
Who cares about the Rumble?
Yeah.
You're saying that? You're the king of the Rumble.
I'm sure that I will, if not live at some point, watch the two matches, but
you're going to watch the two matches. You watch every single Royal Rumble there is. Just the Royal Rumble, not the whole pay-per-view, right? You went through and watched every single one.
Yes. Yes, I have.
That is one of your things. You are a Royal Rumble aficionado.
I even though I didn't watch all of it, I did watch the stupid Wrestle Kingdom Rumble.
The Junk Rumble, you watch that? The Rambo or whatever it was called?
Couldn't help it.
That was weird. Yeah, we'll talk about that later in the next show. But wow, was that a weird? It wasn't junky enough. That to me, that was its problem. It wasn't goofy enough. Too many top guys were in that Rumble.
Briefly,
you're right. Okay, so that's weird. We'll see if that actually becomes a match or not. WWE India. I guess it's technically NXT India, which they've taught. I don't remember if we even talked about it. They've been talking about it for a few months now. Apparently, it's going to start January 26th. It's ready to go already.
That seems wild to me.
Yeah, it's already ready to go. Going to show up. Are you going to watch NXT India?
I doubt that I will. I don't even watch UK anymore.
You're a one NXT guy.
I'm trying to get down to 0, but yeah, I'm 1.
It's pushing you to 0.
This past show we're going to get to in a little bit was mostly good, but it was frustrating at times.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was pretty good.
It was pretty good, but
our guy Brian in the YouTube comments talked about Legends Night a few shows ago. I think we talked about
he's
it.
gonna be mad that twice in a row we're not going live.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry, dude. We'll be back live soon. We talked about a lot about Carlito. Apparently, Carlito was supposed to be on that show, and he never showed up. He wasn't on Legends Night after all. Apparently, he decided at the last minute it wasn't a good idea in a pandemic to fly to Florida for a 1-minute segment on Legends Raw. So he said, "I'm not going. I'm not going to go." So he wasn't there.
Yeah, seems like the smartest person involved.
Yeah, a few others did not show up that they said were going to be there, I think, or tease that they're. I'm not sure. I don't really care. Angle wasn't there. There's some others. Whatever. So yeah, he did not show up. It would have been just for a cameo appearance. So too bad there. Mm-hmm. This is just a personal note for me in the news here. Royal Rumble is coming up, as we said. I fucking hate when people just declare they're going to be in it. Like, it should always be
a surprise.
A surprise who's doing what. Except for, like, number one makes sense. That there's, like, matches for number one or something like that. But everything, it should be full of surprises. That's what the Rumble is all about.
I mean, I get that they have to, like, set, like, half the field. But the ones that I hate, I mean, for advertising purposes, I would think they would want to, like, say, like, here's a couple people, or, like...
You can put anyone on the poster. Like,
that's true.
Does it matter?
As long as they're on the show.
Right.
They don't even need to be in the Rumble.
You could put somebody who's in the Rumble on the poster, but they don't have to come out and be like, I do declare that I'm in the Rumble. Like, I hate this.
The one that I always hated was when they were not only declare, but they'd be like, I got number 25. I'm in good shape. Like, why? Why are you letting us know that?
Don't ever say those things.
Yeah. And even I get, and like you said, for number one, if you're going to do a thing where people are competing for number 30, that's annoying, but fine. That's, you know, I hate
that too. Yeah. Hate it. Hate anytime they like give away shit. Like, I didn't write this on here, but Sonya Deville came back on SmackDown. I don't even think she even did anything. I like Sonya a lot. She didn't like surprise run in and like interrupt anybody. She was like walking backstage like, hey guys, I'm back. Like, there was nothing to it. Don't do that.
I mean, I guess there's not a crowd to pop right now, but still, that's dumb.
If this was like a television program, like Lost or something, like Michael doesn't just come walking out of the woods like at the end of the credits, be like, I'll be there next week, guys. Like, there's like he disappeared for shows and seasons. You have to have something happen. Come on.
You'd think.
Just have him walking around. Anyway, I hate when people declare for the Rumble. It's pet peeve. Stop doing that. Say, I hope I'm going to be in the Rumble or something, I guess. I don't know. There's got to be better ways to promote it than that.
Yeah, you could definitely do that, especially if it's like someone you like who is not necessarily a top guy. Just be like, I would love to debut or make my Rumble debut or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't know if it's true or not.
Right.
Yeah, the numbers really bug me when they like have the big jug or whatever. They're like, oh, you get 18. Like, no, don't tell us anything.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let that music hit.
Yeah. Thunder Rosa had COVID-19 contact. She's not going to be on any TV for a while, unfortunately. And more COVID stuff. Nick Jackson apparently caught COVID and had to miss a show. I can't remember when that was. And then apparently he said that he was in bad shape, like literally in bad shape, like cardio shape. That
Oh,
a bunch of their tag matches, he needed Matt to do everything because he could barely keep his wind because it messed him up that bad. So
yeah, I believe it.
yeah. So some more COVID crap. Tim Thatcher, who was supposed to have a fight pit match on New Year's
Yes.
Evil,
Yep.
didn't have one. They did a whole angle, which we'll talk about later, about how he's hurt. It's not going to happen. He's not medically cleared. Apparently, that was all a work. He's not actually hurt. They did that so that they could push the match off of New Year's Evil.
Good.
And
Good. Because it was too much. The things they wanted to do were too crammed together.
Yeah, so we'll
and
talk
that's
about
what was
that.
annoying. Was it was all one big show that you're just giving stuff away again.
A lot going on in that one. So they decided to push that match off, which probably was a good thing in the end. But he is not hurt.
Well, that's good.
He's
Good
not
news.
hurt. And then finally in the news, I'm sure there's a couple other news things I'm missing, but finally in the news, Marty Scurll and Ring of Honor officially agreed to part ways, aka Ring of Honor's like, we don't want you.
Yeah, why did it take so long?
Massive contract. According to Fightful, who I put this story out, they said that Scurll was gone as early as like June, August, I think they said, because he was just not even around after they came back after the pandemic. They wanted nothing to do with him after speaking out happened. So they just cut ties with him, and he had a massive contract he signed at the beginning of the year that we had talked about. So I'm sure they were happy to get right off that contract
if they're able to.
They agreed to part ways, so my guess is that they're off
probably.
of it.
Yeah. Or maybe he got like a payout or something. But
I'm sure he got something. So we'll see what happens with him. I don't know. Supposedly WWE is interested in him. I don't know. It's a haven for those guys.
He's a good wrestler. So
he's very good as a wrestler. I was very surprised that I saw Jordan Devlin is still employed by them for all this stuff.
That was the only one that seemed like he actually was trying to fight back against the accusations, but I don't have any idea where that ended up.
Well, yeah, it's all alleged, of course, but yeah, he was back, and I was surprised.
They mention him on NXT every time there's a cruiserweight match, so they
that's what
are okay with whatever's going on there.
Yeah, that's what made me like bat an eye at it. Like they mentioned him, like, whoa, he's still there. So who knows? Maybe Scroll to NXT UK. Who knows? All right, Bill, it's time for a segment to be named later. Every week you right the wrongs of the weeks prior. What do we mess up or not remember or need clarification on?
So I don't remember why exactly we were talking about Robert Langdon. Was that you, Wally, and your thing?
That was a Wally book segment.
I was looking into the movies. They have 3 of them, whatever. What I thought was interesting, if you didn't know this yet, Wally, they apparently are producing a TV series now called Langdon.
I think I did hear about that.
It's going to be a prequel to all the movies.
With somebody else obviously playing Langdon.
You would think, if depending on how like prequel-y they want to make it. Yes, you would think it'd be a younger man. Person.
Yes.
I think that would be a great television series. I think that has a great potential.
Depending on what they do.
Well,
like if they're gonna
got plenty of books to draw from, apparently.
Yeah. I don't know. I could see that being kind of boring though.
Hunting for treasures and relics? It's never boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have details on it, on who it would be or when. Just that it's in the works, apparently. I looked into the song for Brody Lee. Oh, we talked about how they had bought the rights so they could in perpetuity.
Yes.
It was Old 55 by Tom Waits.
Yes.
It was a pretty cool thing.
Good song.
Tom Waits, if you'll recall, also played Mumbles in that Sly Stallone movie we watched. That bad movie.
The wrestling one?
Yeah. The one where his brother was a wrestler and he was the manager or whatever.
Yes.
Tom Waits was in that. And then he... but yeah, listen to it. It's like a weird old-timey thing, but it's good.
It's a good song.
And then I tried to look into the Zach Gibson board game.
Yeah, right.
No
He's making a
name.
board game.
So far, the details seem sparse, but it is apparently a booking style board game. It's due out sometime this year.
Oh, wow.
He and a fellow wrestler that I did not know, but somebody from Liverpool, started Goose Pack Gaming, which is funny because on their Twitter it says Wolfpack was already taken. So yes, keep that in mind. We will be playing this when it comes out.
Are you now a sponsor of it?
I am not. It looks like they either are not or we're done taking things or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But
we're gonna play this. Mark it down.
And we are following
Mark it down.
Goose Pack for updates and.
Okay.
Oh, I did buy that Royal Rumble game too. So we have 2 wrestling board games to play now.
You bought a Royal Rumble game? What?
I bought a Royal Rumble board game.
How do we play it?
So you essentially pick like a character or whatever, and they come out to the ring, and then you can like do moves to each other, and like you can try to eliminate them, and you can block it, and then there's like special ones that like you can cheat, but then the referee can catch it. So there's like, but essentially you're just trying to like attack one another with cards.
Nice.
Okay.
And it's whoever survives wins. Although they say like, because obviously that can be weird, I guess. They say like bonus points for whoever has the most eliminations. But
is this an official WWF game?
It's got official people in it, so I would assume so.
Wow.
And it like ranges from like Andre the Giant to like more present day people. Like Kane at least is in it. So
wow,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it seems kind of weird. It seems like it's a quick play though. So
I look forward to that day.
Me too.
I can play that. Anything else on the to be named laters?
Nothing for today, no.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go through AEW and then we're going to do NXT. So AEW, SCU and Young Bucks defeated the Acclaimed and TH2 in a match.
Most TH2?
Yeah,
Hybrid 2.
Oh,
the Hybrid 2.
That's Angelico and...
Yep, and Helico and Jack Evans. The most interesting thing in that match for me was Nick Jackson almost breaking his leg, apparently, because Jack Evans did a 630 onto Nick, and Nick tried to put his knees up for it. He did put his knees up for it, and Jack landed right on his leg, and everybody thought his leg was broken because later in the match he went for a springboard, and he almost fell, and then he had to do like a dive to the outside. He like turned around and did a dive to the outside. And it was like, oh, he never misses those. He never misses a springboard. Something is not right.
Yeah.
And he said that he tried to do a super kick later in the match, and he could barely do it because his leg was hurting so much. It's a contusion, though. It's not a broken leg. So, yeah. Scary moment.
Dangerous workers.
They're not.
I've always said.
Scary moment there. John Moxley came back and cut a promo, which was great, as always. Saying, Omega, whenever you're least expected, I'm coming for you. I'm not going to tell you when. It might not be tonight. It might not be tomorrow, but at some point you're going to have to look over your shoulder for me. Okay. Bump and guts match between Hager and Wardlow.
Those bump and guts matches.
Had a bump and guts match. Wardlow got the win over Hager.
Good, but aren't they in the same crew?
Yep. They just had to like fight it out, and Jericho was on commentary for most of the show, maybe the whole thing. So that was fun. Private Party were in the back. They're doing this thing with Matt Hardy, where Matt Hardy is taking 30% of their bookings, which is kind of funny. He's like, because I'm training you, you owe me 30% of your bookings. I've drawn up these contracts, and while he was doing that, Snoop Dogg walked up because, of course, Snoop Dogg has to interact with Private Party because their finisher is named Gin and Juice.
I didn't know.
So he provided the juice. They had the gin already.
Okay.
So he was there. They showed the weigh-in for Darby and Brian Cage. That match is this week. And Darby...
Why are we doing weigh-in?
They want to do a lot of weigh-ins, I guess. Apparently, it's one of the things they like. So it was interesting because...
I don't like that.
Brian Cage got weighed, and he was 275 pounds. He's a massive person.
Yes, he's huge.
He played Thanos on AAA. He's massive.
Yeah.
And then Darby gets up there, and he's 175 pounds. Brian Cage has a 100-pound advantage over
Jesus
Darby
Christ.
Allin.
Which, okay, I guess if you want to show that, cool. But I fail to see the reason, because it's not like if Brian Cage weighed in at 276, they were not going to hold this match.
I don't know. They like
But
weighing.
I guess you could just show that they're.
They like the spectacle of the weigh-in, I guess. I don't know.
I guess.
I did enjoy Taz. It's weird how much I've enjoyed Taz over the last few months, but I have. He says Darby's not even 175 pounds. Look, he has that metal belt. He has that metal jacket. Look at all that junk he's wearing.
It's probably true.
And then Darby, I like Darby. He's like, let's just be honest about this. This is just a reason for us to fight. Like, let's just get on with it now, because I'm sick of just standing around. And then they all faced off, and Sting came out again, which yep, which Mike said he's really sick of Sting just coming out and pointing bats at people. Well, he would hate WCW 1996 and 7 because that's all he did.
That's what
for
made
a year
me
and a half.
Sting. That's what made
all he
me
did
love
for
him.
that's all he did for a year and a half. So get used to it. So that match is this week. We'll see what happens. I cannot imagine Darby's going to lose right now, but this title has flip-flopped quite a bit over the last 6 months. This segment aired on Dark, and I think they just showed it because they got a kick out of it. But on AEW Dark, Marco Stunt came out, and Brody Lee Jr. came out and cut a promo on him.
Which he was better than Marco at promo.
And I think Mike said his promo's already better than Austin Theory or something like that. He came out and said, Marco, you always use your friends for help. You never fight by yourself. I'm almost already taller than you or something like that. And I'm only 8. Kind of an 8-year-old promo on Marco Stunt. It was fun.
I did enjoy seeing like Cody Rhodes have to hold him back, even though he can literally just pick him up. But
yep, Brody Lee Jr. So I think they just put it on AEW because they enjoyed it so much. But
yeah, and I'm sure that everybody who saw it loved it. So
yeah, it was fun. Cody Rhodes had a match against Matt Sydal. I actually liked the road to this match. The road to episode that came out last week would set up this match on YouTube, and the Omega match was pretty fun. They had some nice interplay about how they're both in WWE, and they're both, basically challenged by each other, but never really had matches against each other. They just were in like multi-man matches and never really got to have a singles match or whatever. So Cody was going to face Matt Sydal. Snoop Dogg came out because of Cody's reality show that just aired.
Oh yeah,
Big Show.
Yeah.
On TBS. Snoop Dogg's on there. So Snoop Dogg made a new version of Cody's song, a hip hop Snoop Dogg version, which was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Cody and Matt Sydal had a decent match. And then for some reason, they bumped into Serpentico and Luther on the outside, on the heel side. And those guys came in to get involved. And Snoop Dogg did a dive on Serpentico, which was awful or hilarious, depending on what you want, how you want to take it.
Probably awful, I'm guessing.
Oh, and then they counted a pin too. He got a pinfall victory over Serpentico. Wow.
Oh boy.
Wow.
It is a bad dive though. So obviously he gets up there and he's like, I'm going to go for this. And then he jumps and he's like, oh no, that was way higher than I thought. And then stops himself and lands lightly on top of Serpentico. Snoop Dogg is a big guy though. He's huge.
He's tall.
He's he's tall.
Very tall. And Cody, I just listened to an interview with Cody on Jericho's show, and he said Snoop Dogg gets up and works out at 7 a.m. every day. Crazy. Snoop Dogg, killing it. So that happened. Abaddon had her match against Sheeta. It was bad.
Mike seemed to think that Abaddon is a bad wrestler.
It wasn't good. So I don't know if there's something wrong there or what. Never been a fan of the horror wrestling thing, but so she was biting Sheeta again.
Sheeta retained.
Sheeta retained. There was one moment in there that I did not understand. So this biting is obviously worked, of course.
Mhm.
Sheeta goes under the ring. Abaddon's under the ring. Abaddon bites Sheeta. Supposedly, Sheeta comes out with a bloody neck again, like she's been bitten by Abaddon. Referee Bryce Remsburg, for the first few minutes, does not put on the black gloves. He's just reffing the match still. Even though
Yep.
she has
We had
blood.
one of those in NXT too.
And then it comes back from commercial break, and somebody must have told him, yo, put on the black gloves. Or maybe he thought of it in the moment, like, oh shit, she's bleeding. I should wear the black gloves. So now it comes back, and now he has the black gloves on. But it's like, if it's fake and you're trying to portray it as real, just put the black gloves on.
Yeah.
Mistake there. But the match wasn't very good. I'm just going to be honest. It wasn't very good.
Sheeta
needs a good opponent.
Definitely check out Snoop Dogg's attempt at a top rope jump, because it is quite funny.
It is funny.
He's like doubled over for like 10 seconds trying to find his balance. It's hilarious.
Yep. Yeah. And I think Cody and Seidel were laughing when he landed. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were laughing.
Because
he lands so awkwardly. I think
he lands knees down and then like kind of like hunches over.
It probably hurt more than what a real splash was going to feel like to Serpentico. The poor guy. But anyway. Yeah, it's silly. Sasha Banks, his actual cousin, schooled him, laughed at, made fun of him on Twitter, which was funny. Like, we got to work on you. We got to work on this, Snoop, or something like that. It's funny. Yeah, so this match was pretty shitty. I didn't like it. I guess Abaddon's bad. I don't know. She seems like an interesting character, but it really wasn't good. I'm sorry, it wasn't good.
She looks like an interesting character.
But her wrestling in the match wasn't great. I don't know. Maybe blame some on Sheeta too. I don't know. Who knows? What was excellent? Fantastic. I would recommend anybody to go watch this one. Phoenix Omega AEW Championship. Imagine that.
Imagine. It's great.
The two of them having a good match. Imagine that. Fantastic match. Excellent. When Phoenix decides, I'm going to be the best wrestler on the planet right now, he can do that anytime he wants. He can turn that switch and go full on best wrestler in the world, which is what he did in this match. And then Omega was awesome. One thing I love about new heel Omega is the V trigger is back. Like, his V trigger use as a babyface was not a ton. A little bit, but not a ton, probably because it was the finisher to the tag team.
Sorry, I'm just watching Snoop Dogg go, bring him closer, bring him closer.
Yeah, he literally needed him closer. Couldn't reach him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's quite funny, though. It is funny.
All right, sorry.
Okay. So, yeah, this match was awesome. And I think Omega doing a million V triggers as a heel champion is just fantastic. So that was back. Like Ray Phoenix jumps off the top rope, tornillo, the little spinny thing, which is super cool off the top rope, going into a jumping V trigger to his face. Pretty awesome. Good match. Really good.
That sounds violent.
It was great. A lot of countering and stuff. Cool countering. Omega won, and then they show on this. Don Callis comes in and says, like, we told you Pentagon and Pac aren't going to save you. And they show Eddie Kingston's guys and your guy, Bill, the Blade, and the Butcher, beating those guys up and holding them backstage so Noah can come help. And so they look like they're going to beat him up. And I can't remember what happened first, but Machine Gun and Luke Gallows, I guess, is
Luke Gallows and Machine Gun Anderson.
Machine Gun Anderson come out and start beating up Phoenix. Sorry. They beat up Phoenix, and then Moxley shows up with a baseball bat with barbed wire on it, trying to get some revenge and help Phoenix. And then they all turn on him and beat him up. Phoenix got out of there. And then a bunch of good guys jumped the rail to try to help Moxley. And which is cool. I like good guys are by ringside. They should jump in and help the down babyface. So that's what happened. And then the Bucks came out, and they ended up super kicking. All of them punched, super kicked some good guy tag teams, and they all too sweeted in the middle of the ring.
So they have reformed Bullet Club.
So it seemed like they had reformed Bullet Club, although Matt and Nick had like weird looks on their faces. So they super kicked somebody, but they also seemed like a little hesitant to Too Sweet. I don't know if that's just because of the cease and desist or because they're hesitant to join this group of people. But so that's how it ended. It ended with a Bullet Club Too Sweet. Wow. Very exciting. Very exciting. Some misses on the show like Snoop Dogg and Abaddon, but I thought the end was great. So good. Very exciting. Let's move to NXT, Bill.
It was a good show. There was just too much they tried to cram into one. They had like takeover level matches throughout the night, except condensed because they tried to do too much.
Okay, so Priest and Karrion Kross was first.
And this was like a no commercial break match.
Yeah, good.
It was a good match.
Karrion was kicking the crap out of Priest, and Priest wouldn't go down, and he's like, I'm not going down, bitch, or something like that. And then he did, in fact.
Then he went right down.
And then he did, in fact, go down.
But this is a good match.
Good.
Yeah, both of these guys are good wrestlers.
I did laugh when they both did their cheesy karate kicks at the beginning. Even though they're both like, I think they're both trained in Muay Thai or something.
They're trained in something, yes.
Because isn't Priest's dad like a karate champion of some kind?
He allegedly beat Chuck Norris in an exhibition.
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly.
I laugh when they both, no one's ever beat Chuck Norris. Come on.
Yeah.
I laugh when they both karate kick the air at each other. That made me laugh.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a solid start.
Yeah. When are we getting the Dusty Cup? When is
Starts next week, I believe.
Do we have competitors for that yet?
They've announced some of them. I think there's going to be 8 teams. It looks like it's going to be the Undisputed Era. It looks like it's
Breezango,
Killian Dane, and this little guy, Drake Maverick.
Yeah.
I assume I don't know if the tag champs are in it or if they're just watching because somebody gets a shot, you know?
Right.
So I think they announced a total of 4, but I think there's 4 more also going to be in it.
All right. We're going to have to make those picks, I guess, off the air somehow before that happens.
Is it not? It's this week coming up.
It starts. It's going to be spread out. Like probably, my guess is like 2 matches a week. Or
they're going to have
like
to announce more people tomorrow or Tuesday, I guess, or whatever. Anyway, so that's happening. Undisputed Era talked about it. Santos Escobar Grand Metalik NXT Cruiserweight Championship match.
It's a good match.
Fine.
These guys are both good wrestlers.
Yeah, not a lot to say here. Fine. Escobar won. Mercedes Martinez talking about paying off your bet here.
As I predicted.
She's going to take everyone out and go after the NXT Women's title.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
She beat up Io, right? She beat up Io?
I think she just like called her out here. I'm not sure.
Okay. So
she has in the past.
They showed like a clip of her like throwing underneath the
she showed up a couple weeks ago and like beat her up at the end of a match.
Okay. Anyway, so that's gonna happen. Look forward to that. And then it happened. Bill, it happened.
We'll see.
It happened. Xia Li had her first.
She looked great against a jobber.
Right.
But they had
Boa came out with her.
Yep. And she sort of updated look. The woman was up on the stage in her throne.
Right. They didn't really talk about her.
Nope.
They're just like, oh, we're interested to see how this goes.
And her new finisher is essentially a roundhouse kick to the face, and it's awesome because she knows how to kick.
Right.
So it looked good.
She's a shoot fighter.
Yeah.
I won't let her fight, but she's a shoot fighter. I liked her new gear, and I like her. We'll see what happens.
We'll see where this goes. I'm curious if this week Boa will beat up a jobber.
Probably.
We'll see though. But yeah, this should be. It's not terrible yet.
It's the thing you're most invested in on the show, I feel like.
It's great, but also it's going to be awful as soon as the actual storyline moves anywhere. Like Xia Li can come out and kick people in the face all day. I'm cool with that. But
yeah, we'll see.
Such an optimist, Bill. Such an optimist.
Yeah, right. Talked about Thatcher being injured earlier.
Which good.
wipe this match off the board.
Let this be the main event of another night. It doesn't need to be the 10-20 or the 9-20 match or whatever.
The other thing I didn't talk about was the Open, where Dexter Lumis was the host of NXT New Year's Evil, and he was there by himself and flipped a switch, and then everybody was there.
Yeah, so
turned on the Thunderdome. Is that what it was?
So there's a big fake switch now.
Yeah.
It's not just that he's a caricaturist; he has big fake switches.
He can turn on and off the show.
And he was such a good host because he had a red tuxedo jacket on. So
Still didn't talk?
No. He's got bits now.
He only appeared twice the whole episode.
Right. It didn't.
Well, better than 5 times.
That's true.
It could have been so much worse. He appeared at the beginning and then that one match. That was it. So it could have been so much worse. He was on commentary at one point, though, wasn't he? But he didn't say anything?
They said something about that, but yeah, they just showed him sitting there with the headset on.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And I guess I can't make fun of that because Orange Cassidy has done that exact same thing where he just comes out to commentary and doesn't say anything. And I find that to be funny. So I'm going to give...
That's much better because he can talk. He just didn't. Yeah.
I still think that's better, but I'm not going to dock the Dexter Lumis doesn't talk, but he's on commentary thing because it is kind of funny. But yeah, him flipping the switch of the arena is really weird. All right, so the Thatcher thing, there's no match. Then they show Bronson Reed in the crowd. They're back to doing the in the crowd stuff because your guys, the grizzled young veterans,
yes,
were in the crowd as well. But Bronson Reed's
they'll be in the Dusty Classic.
I got big things. There's going to be big things for me in 2021 or something like that. So yes, please give me all the Bronson Reed. Give it to me.
Yeah, he'll be doing
and then
stuff. They're pushing him.
He picked Rhea Ripley to win the match because was Rhea Ripley from New Zealand or Australia? I forget.
Australia. New Zealand is
but they're neighboring countries. So he picked, of course, his neighboring countryman, Rhea Ripley, to win this last women's standing match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez. It finally fucking happened. What do you think of it, though?
It was
What
good.
did you think?
It wasn't. It didn't go to where it could, but it was good.
I didn't hate it, but
last man standing matches don't do it for me, generally speaking. It's just they battle around the arena, and then someone, they pile stuff on each other,
and that happened. I getting really tired of the brawling behind the scenes. NXT, they did this on WWE stuff too, where the announcers say, "Oh, I've never seen this part of the arena before." And they've said it so many fucking times.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know we had this room there. Come on. I laughed when Rhea Ripley got up on the locker and did suck it. Did you notice that?
She did in fact do suck it.
She said suck it and then jumped through a table. Jumped through Raquel on a table. That was funny. Dakota Kai coming out to try to interfere and getting stuffed in a locker. While it is funny.
That was just the end of that too. She was just stuck there.
Ouch. Sorry, Dakota. Where do you go from there?
Yeah, really.
That's lame. That sucks for you. But just okay. Not bad. Not great.
And then at the end they were both hurt, and then Raquel just got up and she did, and Ripley didn't.
Yeah, they went through the staging area, like the fake stage kind of thing.
Yeah, the entrance ramp area.
Which a million times has happened. And then Raquel got up first, so she won, which is the right move. And it looks like Rhea Ripley's going to the main roster. So,
yeah, she has said she's not, but we'll see.
She keeps saying she's not, but she lost this blow-off match. So what else is she going to do now?
Yeah,
I don't know. Fine. Could have been a way better thing. I don't know. There had to have been something else to do here. But I guess it makes sense. Plus, if you lose a last woman standing match, it's kind of over for you, right? You're kind of lost. You're done.
It's got to be a hard restart, whatever she's doing.
You're done. Like, what do you do now? The Way came out to celebrate the breaking of the curse.
Yep.
and
shout out Johnny Manziel.
Yep, more funny celebration. The way treating the two wrestlers as children, Candice and Johnny treating Indy and what's his face as kids. And Shotzi Blackheart came out in her tank.
Oh, they did announce that was one of them. Johnny Gargano and
all right, Johnny and Austin are going to be a team.
Yep,
father and son.
Yep.
The rule of the galaxy is father and son together. Then Shotzi came out with her tank, which now has a missile.
Yep.
And Austin Theory charged up the ramp and said, No, you get out of here. This is our celebration. Leave dad alone and leave mom alone. And she fired her foam missile right into his penis.
Yep.
And he went down.
Good old nut shot that took him out of commission entirely.
Yep. He was done for the rest of the night. And then for whatever reason, Kushida showed up.
Yep.
And they teamed together and had a match, which Dexter Loomis put together by putting a drawing up on the whiteboard again.
Yep.
It's like, here's a drawing of all four of you. You're having a match now because I'm a cartoonist. And
thanks, thanks, host.
This brought me two things of joy from Wade Barrett, who's quickly, who was great. He won my Commentator of the Year award for last year, but he said two things that cracked me up big time. When Austin Theory got hit in the balls by the foam missile, he goes, she hit him right in the ghoulies. I did not know ghoulies was another phrase for balls, but hit right in the ghoulies.
We'll have to try to incorporate that into our show.
Yeah, that'll be a segment to be named later for next week. Get ready to look up ghoulies or whatever he said. I think it was ghoulies. And then he said when Loomis drew the picture, he's like, how do you do that so fast? He didn't even pick up a pencil or something like that. How do you do that? Funny. And then that match was fun.
It was dumb.
Shotzi Blackheart destroyed herself again on a tope suicida. I wish she would stop doing these things. Kushida held the ropes open. She did a dive, and Candice did not catch her, and she landed flat on her face. And then you can see Candice roll over and look at her and go, are you okay?
Jesus Christ. Sorry I didn't do my job and catch you.
There's no way. Shotzi went full speed, and Candice is a very small woman. There was no way she was going to catch her in full speed.
Yeah.
And like safely let her get to the ground. She just dove and landed on her face again. So, and I think she even posted on Twitter like, oops, I did it again or something like that. Oh, well, she doesn't give a shit. Shotzi also put something funny on Twitter about Austin Theory that said, I have great aim. Basically saying like he has a micro penis. And I have great aim. It's so small. How did I ever hit it? So they had a mixed tag match. I don't even remember who won, but I enjoyed it.
Kushida got like a roll-up pin on Johnny.
Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Glad Kushida won, but whatever.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter in the long scheme of things. What's this Valentine's Day thing? What is this?
Takeover.
They're gonna have Takeover on Valentine's Day?
I guess so. Instead of doing it now, they're not doing it the same weekend as like Rumble or whatever. That's fine. Like spacing wise, it's far enough removed. Why Valentine's Day? I don't know. Why not? I guess.
Is there gonna be like a gimmick to another dumb gimmick to this? Like
absolutely
a Valentine's Day thing? I don't like that.
They'll redo the St. Valentine's Day Massacre or something like that.
They love that. They love just picking obscure things and redoing them. No. In this year alone, they've done In Your House, which hadn't been done in years. And what else? They did the War Games again, of course, which they brought back. Bunch of weird stuff. Halloween Havoc. They brought Halloween Havoc back, too. So this definitely going to be fucking St. Valentine's Day Massacre, no doubt.
Yep.
William Regal also announced the first ever women's Dusty Cup, which is great.
This will be fun. I imagine it'll only be 4 teams, but this will be cool.
I wish it would be more. I wish
we'll
they
see,
would
though,
find a way to pair some more of these up.
That's what I was trying to figure out who it would be, because I imagine it'll be Casey Catanzaro and I imagine it'll be Candice LeRae and her daughter Indy.
Right.
I'm hoping we get like a Bailey and Sasha or something like that to show up, or a crisscross, bliss cross applesauce or something.
They're
I doubt
both
it.
not friends anymore, I believe.
Oh, really? No, it's too bad.
I don't think either group is friends. But yeah,
What
that'll
about
be
the
fun.
iconic duo?
They're not friends either.
Oh my god!
Really?
Why would you break up the iconic duo?
Yeah,
they've been broken up
together.
for like a while. They didn't
Why?
have a falling out or where they're like we hate each other. I don't think. I think they just agreed like we're not gonna be together anymore, which is
That's dumb.
it sucks on so many levels.
It does. Maybe Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, but if you do that, I feel like they have to win it. So,
well, you could.
I mean, Dakota can just eat a pen, but
Raquel could come back, or not Raquel. Rhea could come back and interrupt that.
that's
It's
true.
like her final act or whatever. But there's so many like pairings that could happen. Like,
yeah, so
random
they
pairings.
no information on it. They just said we're going
It's
to do
happening.
one, which is
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Good.
And
Do it.
obviously, Dusty Rhodes would be all about it. So,
Yeah. Right. I hope it's more substantial than just 4 teams, though. But
they have done
Probably
Dusty Classics with just 4 teams, haven't they?
yeah, they've done the men's, with
Yeah,
just
so-
4, and I don't like that. I like the.
I don't
bigger-
either, but I could see that.
The early Dusty Classic where it was like a bunch of teams and Finn and Joe won it.
Yeah,
And then Joe turned on Finn. That was great.
yeah.
That was great. Wow, that seems like 100 years ago because I don't think Samoa Joe's wrestled a match in a year.
Really.
Yeah. I think he's a
See,
commentator.
I
The
forgot he
commentator.
was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he wrestles anymore. It's crazy. They don't want him to wrestle anyway. I don't know if it's his choice or not. Final match of the night was Finn and Kyle O'Reilly, NXT Championship rematch. Even though Finn won the first time and retained, because of the broken jaw, we were going to run this one back, and it was good. Not as good as the first one.
So there's 2 things. One, I didn't mind them doing the thing where Finn hurt Kyle's jaw and all that, but I hated Vic Joseph on commentary saying 100 times he might have a broken jaw. Did Finn just break his jaw? Like, no, clearly it's not broken.
Yeah.
But like, you want to do that into the match, fine. I don't care. What bothered me about this match was a phenomenal first 2/3 of a match.
Yeah.
And then just a very quick end.
It
If
was
they
a
had
quick end.
finished the match, this would have been a 5.5 star match. They just didn't do the last third of it. They wasn't there.
I don't know if they didn't have enough time. It was weird. It wasn't
Yeah,
a very long. It was like a 18-minute match or something like that. That's
they
it.
gave him like 20 minutes, and it was. I mean, this is the problem though. The show itself went like an hour and 45 minutes or something like that because they kept doing no commercials,
Right.
and they still didn't have time for stuff. Like this was, and I don't even mind that it was a different finish, that it was a weird tap out. Just it came out, it like was rushed. It felt to me.
Yeah. It was fine. It wasn't as good as the first one. I thought the
It
first
was
one
not.
was way better than
This one could have been, but they didn't finish it. But
could have cut so many things out of the show. Like Xia Li didn't need to be on the show. Escobar and Metalik didn't really need to be on the show, even though the match was
or
fine.
just
Got a
split
couple
up
of those.
Priest and Karrion Kross and Finn and Kyle O'Reilly and Rhea and Raquel do not all need to be on the same show unless it's a takeover.
Well, I think the idea was to try to smash AEW with bigger matches, and
I know that was, but
I don't even know what the ratings ended up being because of all the shit that happened. I don't think either's ratings were that great.
yeah.
I don't think they were terrible, but I don't think the ratings were as good as they were hoping for because of all the bullshit that happened.
Yep,
that
I had that on my TV for like 12 straight hours.
Yeah,
at that.
I think almost everybody did. So I watched both of these shows on Thursday, I think. But anyway, I thought it was a pretty good show. Not unbelievable, but good.
I agree. It was good. It was just too much, I thought.
Yeah, a lot packed in there. Okay, I don't know what the hell this means. It's Wally's turn for his segment.
AEW had 662,000 viewers this week.
That's pretty low, considering a big Omega title match. That's pretty low.
Yeah. And NXT had 641,000.
Yeah.
What was
Which was
the
up?
AEW was what?
662.
Ah, so they still beat NXT.
Slightly beat them still with all those matches. It's just not good for wrestling fans for them to be on the same night. It's just not.
Nope.
It's just not. It's just not. Both shows would get much higher ratings, but obviously that's not why NXT is where it is. It would be on Tuesday night if they actually wanted to get ratings.
Right.
But we've talked about that a lot.
Or Thursday night even.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. News programs had
Monster numbers, I'm sure.
15 of the top 15.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rightfully so. All right, Wally. It says top 5 shirts off. I don't know
All
what
right,
that
this-
means.
Yeah.
What is
I
this?
don't know what
that
that
was a
means.
question because it wasn't top 5. It just said Wally's top. So I didn't know if that meant Wally was just going to take his shirt off this week or what.
Oh,
Well, I
see.
keep in the document that we put on, the
We
notes
just
that we
leave it
put
as
out.
top.
I just leave it as top because he's changed his numbers every week
okay.
now from 5 to 10.
I thought that meant this week he
No.
couldn't be bothered to come up with a list. So he's like, I'll just take my shirt off this
I
week.
mean, if Wally wore no shirt on the show, we might get more viewers. You never know. Face of the franchise here. For
he
us.
can no shirt and you and I can continue Donald Ducking.
Yeah. Well, Donald, you've done it all year. You've Donald
Since
Ducked all
Donald
year.
Ducking since March.
Yeah, there's only been like 1 or 2 times that I've done top 10.
You have expanded. Okay, top 5. What do you got?
Top 5. Top 5 mutants in the Marvel universe.
Mutants, okay.
Mute.
Yep, just mutants. Yeah.
I don't know the answer to this. Does that include X-Men or not?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
okay.
mostly X-Men, right?
It is.
So
mostly-
Gambit is the best one, but go
He's
ahead.
a mutant. Yeah.
Number 5 is Storm.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I should categorize it. This is mainly superheroes. Actually, this is superheroes. There's no bad guys.
Okay.
Number 5 is
no
Storm.
villains.
No
Yeah,
Magneto.
no villains. Exactly. Number 4 is Wolverine.
Okay.
Number
Even though
3
how does Magneto ever lose? That's my question. For
Seriously.
How does he not just literally tear apart
Yeah.
Wolverine in his
Wolverine.
titanium
Yeah.
I mean,
body?
he has done that to him, but Wolverine
Yep.
can't die, I guess. But
pretty much, yeah.
anyway,
Yeah. Wolverine comes in at number 4. Gambit comes in at number 3.
All right. I did
Wow,
not think he'd be in the
Gambit
list. Excellent.
Growing up, for some reason I loved Gambit.
He
I
was
don't
the
know
best
why.
one, is why.
I feel like Gambit was awesome in the X-Men cartoon,
Yes.
but hasn't done anything since then.
He was on a list in one of the movies or something, right?
He was
in
that
Wolverine.
shitty
Wolverine.
Yeah,
Oh,
X-Men
really?
Origins Wolverine, the one where they destroyed Deadpool.
Bad one.
Number 2 is Nightcrawler, and number
Hmm.
1 is Deadpool.
No,
Okay.
why Nightcrawler? I vaguely remember him, but why
He's
is
a
he so cool?
teleporter.
Yeah,
Okay.
how do you not like the crazy blue teleporting guy?
Because according to Pete, what's his name that used to go on after Conan, he
Pete
just
Holmes.
stunk every time he transported. It was stinky.
Those bits were so funny. Who was it where he just sat down and like gave the middle finger to the guy?
It might have been, no, I think it was Rogue. And he was
Rogue?
like, "Here, let me shake your hand on the way out." And she went to, he was like, "I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that."
I'm not touching you. That would be horrible. Go look all those up. They were so funny.
Yeah.
So funny. And all the people
Well,
were famous, like all the different mutants that came in. He was Professor X, right? Pete
It was
Holmes.
called the X-Men, EX-Men.
Yeah. He was like firing.
It was
people
Professor
from the
X firing the X-Men for being
Yeah.
bad at stuff.
Yeah.
Yo, who was the actual person? Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes was
Holmes.
was Professor
The
X.
comedian,
and then,
Yeah.
Who was Nightcrawler was the first one, right? Wasn't it?
I
It was the
I
dude
know he did
from,
Nightcrawler, and I remember he did Rogue and he did Wolverine. I don't remember who else was in there.
Yeah. There was others, but yeah, very funny. All right, that's it. We're gonna come back with a Wrestle Kingdom breakdown, a full-on breakdown of both nights and everything that happened. And you guys watch a few matches.
I watched,
I watched
7
it all.
total.
You watched it all?
I watched
No
it all.
shit.
Really? Wow.
What? Look at you overachiever.
Yeah. Yep.
What happened
That's why
there?
I'm
Were you-
tired because I almost fell asleep.
Were you? When did you watch it all? Today?
I watched most of night 1 yesterday, and then I watched the rest of it. The 6th match. So what was it?
6 matches on night 2.
Ibushi Naito from night 1. I watched that today, and all.
Oh
of night
my
2.
god,
I watched
that's a lot.
from night 1. I watched the 2 big matches plus the Rambo.
Right.
And then I watched 4 of the matches on night 2.
Wow.
Now, when I say I watched them, they were on.
Okay.
While I watched other movies.
Oh boy. So you retained a lot of you have a lot of takes.
Retained the fact that Shingo and Jeff Cobb was pretty good.
Oh man, was that good?
Hot take.
I have that so much higher than anyone else. I feel like I don't know why.
I feel like you do. I agree it was good, but I feel like you definitely have it.
I don't know why I like it so much, but I like it. All right, that's it for this one. We'll be back with Wrestle Kingdom. Peace out.
See ya.